Welcome to the channel Gams of Powers for our new video. For centuries, the legend of the Philosopher's Stone has captivated the minds of mortals. Kings and commoners alike have dreamt of this power, imagining endless riches and eternal life. The true alchemists were not concerned with earthly metals. They were philosophers of the soul, seeking a transformation far more valuable than any treasure. The lead they spoke of was the ignorant, unawakened mind, heavy with fear, doubt, and attachment to the material world. The gold was the illuminated soul, radiant with wisdom, understanding, and divine awareness. The great work, or the magnum opus, was never a laboratory experiment performed over a fire. It was an internal process, a spiritual journey undertaken within the sacred vessel of the human body. The true quest for the Philosopher's Stone is the quest for self-mastery. It is the art of purifying the inner self, of transmuting the darkness of our lower nature into the light of our higher potential. The Philosopher's Stone is not a myth from a forgotten age. It is a living reality, a potential that resides within the heart of every person. What about you? Did you awaken to your inner alchemy yet and mastered your archetypes? All creation begins with duality. The universe as we know it is a grand stage where opposites play out their eternal dance. There is light and darkness, day and night, sun and moon. These pairs are not enemies, they are two sides of the same coin, essential partners in the symphony of existence. This fundamental law of polarity is the very starting point of the alchemical journey, the raw material from which the great work begins. The ancient alchemists symbolize these forces in many ways. The sun is the fiery, electric force of the spirit, while the moon is the cool, magnetic vessel of the soul. The unawakened person is often torn between these forces, pulled in one direction by reason and another by emotion. The secret to inner alchemy is not to choose one side over the other, but to bring them into perfect balance. When these two become one, a new state of consciousness is born. This process of unification is the true meaning of transmutation. By honoring the dance of opposites within us, we learn to walk the middle path, the path of balance, which is the one true road to enlightenment. The ancient masters taught that the human body is a microcosm, a perfect miniature replica of the macrocosm, the universe itself. Every organ, every nerve, and every cell is a symbol of a cosmic force or a spiritual principle. To the alchemist, the body was the laboratory where the great work was to be performed. The spine was the alchemical furnace, the brain was the alembic, and the heart was the vessel where the final transmutation would take place. The spine in particular holds a place of great importance. It is the central pillar of the temple, the axis mundi connecting the heavens and the earth within us. This is beautifully symbolized in the legend of King Arthur, who pulls the sword Excalibur from the stone. The sword represents the spinal column, the channel of spiritual energy, and the stone represents the dense material body. This symbolism is echoed in another powerful ancient image, the caduceus. The central rod is the spine, and the two serpents represent the twin currents of energy that flow alongside it, the Ida and the Pingala, the feminine and masculine life forces. When the spiritual fire from the spine reaches the brain and unites these two halves, a new faculty of perception is born. The serpent is one of the most ancient and misunderstood symbols in all of mythology. It is the symbol of the potent, creative energy that lies dormant at the base of the human spine. This is the sacred fire, the serpent power known as Kundalini. The great work of inner alchemy is largely concerned with the safe and gradual awakening of this serpent fire. This is not a process to be forced or rushed, for this energy is immensely powerful. The alchemist works to clear the central channel of the spine, the sushumna, so that this energy has a clear path to ascend. When these two are in perfect harmony, the central gate opens for the serpent to begin its climb. As the serpent energy rises, it passes through a series of energy centers, or chakras, located along the spine. Each chakra is a wheel of life, a vortex of consciousness that governs different aspects of our physical, emotional, and mental being. The ultimate goal of the serpent's climb is to reach the brain, specifically the higher centers associated with spiritual perception. When the Kundalini energy completes its journey, it floods the brain with light, activating dormant potentials and unlocking higher states of awareness. The serpent, once a symbol of the fall, becomes the agent of our ascension. At the very center of the human brain lies a tiny pinecone-shaped gland known as the pineal gland. Modern science is only just beginning to understand its function, noting its role in producing melatonin and regulating our sleep-wake cycles. But the ancient traditions knew it by another name, the third eye. It is the inner eye that, when opened, allows us to see beyond the veil of the physical world and perceive the hidden realities of the universe. This concept of a single, all-seeing eye is found in cultures all over the world. The opening of the third eye is the direct result of the alchemical process. When the balanced energies of the Ida and Pingala merge, and the serpent fire of Kundalini ascends the spine, it culminates at this point between the eyebrows. This is the moment of illumination, the point at which the alchemist gains true sight. With this inner vision, the world is transformed. Awakening it is the key to breaking free from the prison of materialism and reclaiming our power as spiritual beings. In many systems of thought, the number 12 represents completion and wholeness. But beyond these 12 lies a hidden 13th archetype. This is the archetype of the self-aware creator, the one who has mastered the 12 and stepped outside the cycle to become a conscious cause, rather than a mere effect of circumstance. This 13th archetype is the ultimate goal of the alchemical great work. It is what the psychologist Carl Jung called the self, the unified individuated being who has successfully integrated all the disparate parts of their personality, including the shadow. To become the 13th archetype is to realize that you are the author of your own story. This state of being is achieved when the consciousness is fully awakened and unified. The creator understands that the external world is a mirror, a reflection of their internal state. By changing their consciousness, they can change the reflection. This is the true power of the Philosopher's Stone. The conscious creator wields the forces of attention and intention with surgical precision. On the path to enlightenment, the seeker will inevitably encounter forces that seem to obstruct their progress. In esoteric traditions, these forces are often personified by figures like Saturn and Lucifer, but the alchemist understands their true role. They are not enemies, they are the great teachers, the stern gatekeepers, who ensure that only the worthy may pass into the higher realms of consciousness. Saturn, known in astrology as the Great Malefic, represents limitation, restriction, discipline, and karma. Saturn's influence brings hardship, delay, and responsibility. While his lessons are often difficult, they are absolutely necessary. Lucifer, whose name means lightbringer, is another deeply misunderstood figure. He is not the devil, but the personification of the ego, the intellect, and the rebellious spirit that questions authority. The challenge is not to destroy the ego, but to tame it and place it in service to the higher self. These shadow teachers are essential parts of the alchemical process. By facing these challenges directly, with courage and understanding, we integrate their lessons and grow stronger. These formidable guardians, once overcome, become our greatest allies on the journey to self-realization. The quest for the Philosopher's Stone ends where it began, within the self. The stone was never an external object to be found. It is not a piece of matter, but a state of being. The Philosopher's Stone is the fully awakened, purified, and integrated human consciousness. It is the Christ consciousness, the Buddha nature, the divine spark fanned into a brilliant flame. The creation of this inner stone is the true purpose of human life. The tools for this alchemical process are not found in a laboratory, they are the very faculties of our being. Attention is the fire that provides the heat for the transmutation. Intention is the formula that directs the process, shaping the energy into our desired form. The power to transform your life and your world does not lie in the hands of some guru, priest, or master. It resides within you. The time to discover it is now.